All right, you should just click away if you don't want to get spanked, because I am going to smack you full of information in this video. I'm going to help you understand why PulseX should be one of the biggest positions you have in this crypto bull run. All right? It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, but you're going to become wealthier. All right? And for those of you who are new here, we usually don't spank people. My name is St. Wolf. Welcome to the channel. We just help people understand crypto better. And in this video, you're going to understand PulseX and why it's going to be massive and huge. And I'm going to show you in 3 easy steps. 1, I'm going to play you some clips from the Hart man himself so you understand his point of view. I'm going to do TA and show you exactly where we are and what's going to happen next. And 3, I'm going to give you price targets so you know exactly how rich you're going to be. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's go check it out. All right, this is a video with Wendy O. You guys know who she is. It's on RH Max's channel. He had reposted it. Check it out.
Exchange called PulseX, and it's similar to Uniswap, except the fees are lower. So instead of 0.3%, you pay 0.29, and it burns 22% of the fees, and causes it buy and burns up the PulseX token for 22% of the fees, 21.7, I believe. So these new tokens I'm designing are purely deflationary, no inflation. It's awesome, And unlike the Uni token, where the Uni token from Uniswap literally has no connection to the trading whatsoever, none. You trade has nothing to do with the Uni token. In this system, when you trade, the PulseX token receives buy and burn pressure from that. So it's a more honest, more direct. It's just better. So PulseX is better than Uniswap, and PulseChain is better than Ethereum.
I feel like Uniswap, I feel like their token was for their liquidity pools on the platform, but realistically, you really didn't need it because you can get liquidity from the community and you can lock up some of your coins for liquidity and do all that other stuff.
Well, I can tell you that story. It's an interesting story, actually.
Let's hear it.
Uniswap was vampire attacked by a project called SushiSwap. And so what Sushi did was they said, you know what, if you move over your LP tokens from Uni and you put them in, if you move your liquidity from Uni into Sushi instead, you're gonna make fees, but you're also gonna make this extra token. And that was the vampire attack, is you give people an extra token to get them to do something that they were already doing anyway, but somewhere else. And the funny part is that behavior kind of looks similar to what we're doing to the whole Ethereum network. You want lower fees, you want higher throughput, you want the same ticker symbols. We got all that right here. Click a button. And here's this exchange PulseX, which has an incentive token to reward you for providing liquidity between your ERC20 or your Ethereum and your PRC20 or your Pulse. And now you can make fees when people trade between these two networks. So if you've got, let's say, Link or SHIB or Hex or something on the Ethereum network, you can bridge that into the PulseChain network, pair it with your free coins that you got copied, and you're likely, I mean, who knows what will happen at the beginning? Prices will probably move around a lot, but over time, I think that you'll see that maybe they find like a kind of common ratio of Ethereum ERC20 to PRC20 value, and that reduces your liquidity loss, your impermanent loss as a liquidity provider. Because like if you just tie two things that really just stay the same value against each other, you're just making fees with no impermanent loss. But if the price moves a lot, you don't like that as an LP because you sold the thing that went up and bought the thing that went down, basically. So, and you're hoping the price comes back down so that you're left with profit.
I'm going to play you the second video. This is really quick, just a few more seconds, and I'm going to break it down for you. All right, this is from Hex Clips. I'm just going to play the beginning.
It used to be, we made Uniswap popular. Hex was 40% of Uniswap's trading volume and liquidity for a long time. And now it's still top 18 or 19 liquidity, and their liquidity is being subsidized. So they have oversized Ethereum and wrap Bitcoin and USDC volume because it's being subsidized by this Uni token. And Hex is still top 18. And by the way, the liquidity's gone up. So if you go to uniswap.info and you click liquidity, you can see the chart. It goes up. And it tends to go up when the price of Ethereum goes up. And then people get rug pulled all the time, right? So they'll buy a coin and they'll be feeling really rich. Yeah. And they'll go to sell it, and then there's nobody fucking buying. And the shit is at zero, right? Well, if you look at the liquidity on the Hex ETH pair, it's been going up for a long ass time. Oh, 70% dip? Who gives a fuck? Liquidity's still there, right? Like,
liquidity's not an issue with Hex. So
All right. Remember what he talked about in the beginning about that. About 40% of the volume on Uniswap was his project, which was Hex, his first project. All right. Now, let's come over here really quick. Let's go to GoPulse, okay? PulseX right now is at a $600 million market cap. All right. It is an exchange. All right. The price is 4 zeros, 3 cents, 0.00003. All right. Now, first thing I want you to understand is that it has a massive deflationary aspect to it. And you mentioned that in the beginning of that first video with Wendy O. It's burning about 21.7% of every transaction goes to buy and burn PulseX. That's 1/5. Okay. Now, Pulse hasn't even seen a bull run yet. Okay. And it's already burned, as you can see on the screen. Let me move this up for you guys. $32 million worth. Okay. And if you look at the coins, it's 1 trillion PulseX is burned. All right. Now, that's been with the transaction volume that we have now, or that we've had over the last year, which has been absolutely the lowest it's going to be, because the usage has been minimal so far, right? So 200,000 holders, and the supply is 142 trillion, okay? And it's deflationary, so that's not going up, that's fixed, and we burned 1 trillion of that already. The volume is 100,000, all right? Now, what's really interesting about this, and what people have forgot, is that the price of PulseX is going to go above and beyond, first of all, any exchange token we've ever seen before. So you can't compare it to other exchange tokens. And the reason I say that is because what he said in the beginning of this video, I'll play it again really quick.
Hex's liquidity used to be, we made the Uniswap popular. Hex was 40% of Uniswap's trading volume and liquidity for a long time. And you know, now it's still top 18 or 19 liquidity. And they're
What happened is that Richard Hart was gatekept because people didn't like him. They didn't like his character. They didn't like Hex. And he helped build a lot of what we see in crypto today by his influence, by his knowledge. He was very much into Bitcoin before. Obviously, you see what happened on Uniswap, and that is a fact. They were 40% of the trading volume. They really were a big part of it in the early days. They helped get it going, promoted it, and no one really acknowledged what he did before. So I don't think that this is going to compete with Uniswap. I think, and what I truly believe, because I've watched a number of videos about him talking about this, is he is going to crush the record of Uniswap. He's going to leave them so far in the dust, you're not even going to think they exist. And he's going to do that with PulseX, okay? Because it's the sweetest type of revenge. It's success. He's going to make PulseX so successful, it's going to feel like another layer one. It's going to be that massive. I have no doubt in my mind. Now, the deflationary aspect of it can't be understated, or it can't be overstated. It has burned $32 million of value, okay? Over 5% of its supply. And that's with not even a bull run, not even Pulse Chain running and fully, at its full glory, okay? People are still finding out about Pulse Chain. They're still coming over. Can you imagine when the volume 10x's, all right? What it might be in the next cycle, all right? And this supply is only going to continually be burned at an accelerating rate, and you cannot overstate that at all, okay? So I think the plans are to move PulseX to an incredible market cap and value, and it will keep growing over time, all right? I'm going to get to that at the end of the video. Right now, let's go into some TA. Let me show you guys where we're at and what we can expect. All right, so here we are. It looks very similar to some of the other charts on Pulse Chain. We have this beautiful, what I think is going to be a W playing out. And if you saw my video from yesterday, the Pulse Chain video, you can just see a W here for win, okay? Okay, you guys see that? You see this beautiful W here, and we can zoom in. Oop, let's come back here. Let's go look over here. Now, this is on the 12-hour, all right? Now, what I've been talking about in my live streams with everybody is we were anticipating an inverse head and shoulders to be forming, just like on Pulse and Incentive, okay? And what we see here is it may actually be playing out just as predicted, okay? And it actually makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to show you something really interesting about this inverse head and shoulders and about this W forming, is that within this inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, you have an inverse head and shoulders in here as well. Now, nothing here is perfectly to the book, but the point is we're seeing a tremendous amount of bullish patterns within bullish patterns. That's the key takeaway here, okay? Because I know most of you guys are not trading the pip. You guys are looking, you have the question on your mind is, do I buy now, right? And after I buy, how high will it go? Well, the answer to the first part of that question is yes, you should buy now, because if you can look at the formation of this W, we are at the bottom. And this is a trend line here, what I call the bottom, that's been holding for a very long time. We've been bouncing above it. Now, could we go back and back test it? Sure, we could. And the interesting thing is, even if we did go back and test it, we'd still be in this inverse head and shoulders. Now, what's an inverse head and shoulders? Well, it's the opposite of a head and shoulders, and they break up, all right? So if I flip the chart, you can see if we had a head and shoulders, where would that go? It would fall down. So we can chart this. We can come over here. I can take a line. Okay. And I'm just doing this really quick. Okay. You guys are trading the pip. You can get in there in more finer detail. And that gives us a target up here above all this resistance, because you need to climb through all this, and you see it back here as well. Now, what's really interesting about this is if I come here and we have another inverse head and shoulders, I can chart that too. Okay. And you got left shoulder, head, right shoulder over here. Come over here, pop it in. Now, what's really interesting about where this one comes to is it's exactly right above this resistance, because we were rejected here. It was support here, and we were rejected here. And if you come back and you follow this line, if I put this right here, what do you see? You've got a tremendous amount of support and resistance right here. And you come back here, and what do you see? Support. You come back here, what do you see? Support and resistance. So this is the first climb we make, and we have a target for it, because this has already played out, okay? You see it's already broken through, and we're coming up to it. And this, my friends, is a beautiful hammer right here, which means we are continuing on our way up, okay? Now, what I think could happen is we do something like, so if you're looking to accumulate, yeah, I recommend getting in, because I don't think we're coming back down. You know, we do something like this. We hit that area I talked about. We come back, we back test what I think is going to be this area right here, and then we make our way up here, okay? And then what do we form? We form this complete inverse head and shoulders, and then we have this beautiful target that we can take us up to the next level, okay? And so we are looking extremely bullish, and since we are by the bottom, and if you're looking to add to your bag, I would recommend to start adding to it, because it is no guarantee we pull back. And remember, if we do, you're limited on your downside target. The upside is massive at this point, and we have a ton of bullish formations, which I've shown you, leading us up. Even if we pull back, like I said, even if we were to pull back, I would say to here, I think you're still in this inverse head and shoulders. I think it's still in play. All right. So, you know, once again, you start DCAing. We pull back majorly for whatever reason. You just keep DCAing, because we are heading on our way up. Okay. Now, where is this canceled out? If we break below here, 0.000015. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Okay. But it is crypto. No one knows for certainty. But that is your kind of line in the sand. That breaks, we're going to have to build some support again. But with all these bullish formations playing out, I mean, you just got W's within W's. You got inverse head and shoulders. We are, I think, moving up easily to this target at 0.00005. 758, okay? And then from there, we'll probably come back, do a little retesting, and we got to smash through to complete the rest of this W, all right? And we're on our way to the moon, because, to be honest, past here at 0.000066, there's not much resistance. This is going to cut through like butter once you get past, once you break through here. It depends where we break it. You know, I don't know exactly where we're going to break this, but when you break this, we're going to cut through like butter. And of course, you'll have little stops, but you don't have to contend with these. This is the only area we have to contend with, which is over here. And you can also see it over here in the volume. All right. So I highly recommend you DCA. This is a great place to be at. And I also want to show you this. I'm going to put this against the pulse chart. And let's go over here to the daily. look at that. Oh, and just so you guys see, this is what W's usually do. You don't want to short a W. You don't want to doubt it. They are very, very bullish patterns. Okay. Now, against Pulse, this is, wow, this is just a beast. Okay. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. All right. This is amazing. All right. We are just rocketing upward. I think Pulse is going to continuously gain value. Okay. Against Pulse. I mean, PulseX is going to continuously gain value against Pulse, and that is a lot of that is the deflationary element to it. That once again, people are really not understanding how powerful that is. Sometimes these things can be considered hype in crypto, but the thing is, the way Hartman has designed this is it is going to burn just incredibly. I mean, 21.7%. Buy and burn is just massive. And as volume picks up, it's going to just pick up in an insane level. So the pump on this can be something we've never seen before in crypto. Okay. And, I see, and I'm just playing around here, but you see this. Okay. And then we've got this, and this is against Pulse. You've got this. And I think at some point, okay, I don't know where that point is going to be. I don't know exactly. It's going to do something like this. Okay. Oh, man, there you go, buddy. It's going to go almost vertical. It's just going to go nuts. All right. And Pulse will do great too, but PulseX is going to melt faces. All right. Now, you probably want to know what kind of targets we're talking about if you were to buy here. It's a good question. I'm going to switch to a log chart. I'm going to bring this down. Made a big mess of this chart. That's okay. I really believe that PulseX is going to reach at the very least, a $100 billion market cap. Now, at the height of the last bull run in 2021, I believe Uniswap hit, I think it was 20 billion. It's at about 5 billion right now. But this next bull run, or where we're at now, you have to understand how much currency was printed. You also have to understand how much interest is in crypto. I believe we're going to at least 5x the peak of Uniswap's last thing, and possibly even 8x it. So I would say, let's say 100 to 150 billion, but let's take 100 billion to be conservative, okay? Because I really think he's going to use this to make an example, okay? Because he participated heavily in Uniswap and care. Now he has his own exchange. He's going to rise this to the moon. He's going to make this the premier exchange, okay? He's going to use this to bring eyes, okay? And also a lot of prominent people, psychologically, I think from a marketing point of view, a lot of prominent people in crypto sacked for PulseX. And sure, some of them have cheated, of course, but the ones that stuck around, he's going to show them why it's worth holding on to Richard Hart tokens, and he's going to do it with PulseX here. All right. Now, I believe that if we hit a $100 billion market cap, that is going to be a I'm going to show you. If we pop, where are we right now? We're here. We're going to come up to 0.005 cents, which is half a penny, which is a 169x, okay? So 0.005 cents is my target for PulseX. 0.005, half a penny. It's a 169x from where we are. And I hope that's good for you guys, because it's good for me. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, put your comment down below. Love to hear your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree where we're going. But you know what to do. Pack your bags. I'll talk to you guys later.